Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are in the world. I am your host, Just Mike, and you are watching and you are listening to a milestone event that is episode 10 of the Rock On Wild Show. Normally, on these episodes, I would main event with a reaction of a past movie review that I have done, but I'm going to kick it off with this episode. And as you see from the title, the main event will be my top 100 favorite symphonic metal songs of all time. Now, I just want you to know that if you are new to this channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button, click the notification bell to get notified for all released content on this YouTube channel. That is Just Mike. You can like this episode, share this episode with your family and friends, spread the word about the Rock Out Wild Show, and let's get started. So, what I'm going to do is open up my webcam. Now, I know it looks a little dark, and I'm going to try to actually start to fix some of that. There's a couple of reasons why it's a bit dark on my end. For one thing, I am recording this during the evening, so it's dark outside. Plus, the light up there, I gotta adjust the light bulb that's up in the ceiling over there. So, I am going to react to a old movie review of mine, and this is how we're going to start off episode 10. We're going to switch it up a bit. And this review is one of my favorite science fiction movies of the past decade. Plus, it stars the one, the only cha-ching Tom freaking Cruise and Emily Blunt. That is Live, Die, Repeat, or I'm most knownly for Edge of Tomorrow. So, we are going to first open up the tab of the review. All right. Then I'm going to share screen. So let's see, present, share screen, Edge of Tomorrow movie review. Share the tab audio, share it. All right. And we're going to kick things off with my reaction to this movie review in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Hey, what is up, all movie fans in the movieverse? Welcome to the Mike McRock Movie Review YouTube channel. And right now, I'm going to give you my review for the latest Tom Cruise movie, Edge of Tomorrow. Hey, what is up, all movie fans in the movieverse? Welcome to the Mike McRock Movie Review YouTube channel. And right now, I'm going to give you my review for the latest Tom Cruise movie, Edge of Tomorrow. Right now, I'm going to give you my review for the latest Tom Cruise movie, Edge of Tomorrow. Didn't I just say that? What the weird? When I look at this movie, Edge of Tomorrow, I think it's one of the greatest, not only science fiction movies in a very long time, but one of the best movies of the year. It stars Tom Cruise as Cage, and when you look at the trailer, it promotes Tom Cruise's character as this badass fighting these aliens. But when you're watching the movie in the first 10 or 15 minutes, he's clearly not the guy that should be going into war. He's practically a wuss. And so he's being forced into the situation where he has to go into this beach and Tom Cruise is not your typical. He's playing not your typical character where he's really confident and arrogant and has a bit of ego. No, he's really a lot more human in this movie. Battle all these mimics, and he meets this girl later on, Emily Blunt,
really good badass character in this movie, and she killed it in her role as well, and
Yeah,
so
she
did
did.
Tom Cruise, doing most of his stunts. And it's amazing how this guy, at his age, doing all these physical things in this movie and can still look great. To me, he's like what Leonardo DiCaprio is, only in a stunt action kind of role. How DiCaprio is at acting. That's how I would describe Tom Cruise in this movie. He was
That's
that
interesting take.
good, doing all the physical movements, and you can tell that he's a guy that works out a lot. He does a lot of cardio, and so he has to do a lot of running, flip flops, and jumping over cars, etc., etc. And he done a fantastic job. He's very he has a good physical attributes for an action star, and he was great in his role as well, and so was Emily Blunt, and the chemistry between them was absolutely great. And in this movie, he uh, he resets the day over and over and over until he gets the task down pat, down right, to get to the bottom of it and kill the big boss, which is the alpha mimic in this movie. And in a way, it kind of feels like a video game, but the way it's executed is so very well done. It really felt refreshing, and the flow of this movie was also refreshing as well. To see a movie that's almost 2 hours long, I expected this to be dragged out even just a little bit, but it didn't. It kept
No,
a really good pace
I was
throughout
actually
this
good for
entire
the most
piece of
part.
work. And with that being said, like I said, this is one of the greatest science fiction movies because
Damn right.
of the effects in this movie. Now, I saw this in IMAX 3D, and
Oh,
there were some 3D moments in this movie where you saw things coming at you, flying from the screen, and you almost want to reach out and touch them, but you almost want to get out of the way sometimes. It was really, really cool to
mhm.
see the 3D effects come back to life once again in this movie,
No.
and the way the mimics, or
The
should I
myth.
say, aliens are portrayed in this movie are absolutely outstanding. It almost felt like they were like on acid or crack or something. The way they would rapidly move really really fast. As they were, trying to kill the guys that were killing them. So it's war. They're going into war, and with these gimmicks to solve the
Gimmicks.
problem, basically. And what happens at the end, of course, is a happy ending, which you all would have expected. So it does have that predictability factor, which I actually don't mind. But it's the execution of it, to me, won me over in this movie. And with all that being said, I would rank this movie very, very, very high.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, it's one of the best movies I've seen this year, and it's almost on the same boat as X-Men Days of Future Past. So with that being said, Edge of Tomorrow is worth a watch. I recommend it. It has great acting, great science fiction elements, a really good plot, really good story. There's not a lot of nitpicky issues I had with this movie. And with that said, I gotta give this movie 97 out of 100 points. And if you saw
Yeah,
this
that's the
movie,
score.
feel free to comment below and tell
Leave
me
us.
what did you think about it. And also, you can hit that subscribe button down below this video to get McRocked.
So yeah, uh, that was my review for Edge of Tomorrow. Yeah, looking back at this movie, I really really like this. What a pleasant surprise it actually is, and it's a shame this movie bombed at the box office. It's just one of those things. So that was my reaction and my review of a movie that I done a long time ago. That was Edge of Tomorrow, starring Tom Cruise and Emily Blunt as well. Great movie, fantastic movie, science fiction at its very best, and one I highly recommend if you haven't seen it yet. Now let's get into On This Day. So I'm going to start presenting again. And scenes were still on the realm of the scenes were still on the realm of movies and music. I thought we would still go at this topic. So let's go in film history on March the 5th. Let's see what's going on. So on this day, so as I'm recording this, however, it is February the 18th, 2025, but I am releasing this on March 5th, 2025. So we're going to look at on this day from March 5th from years past. So let's check out movies and film, and let's see what's going on. First, I'm going to start my camera and let's read some of this that's going on here. In 1936, 8th Academy Awards, Mutiny on the Bounty, Victor McLagan and Betty Davis win. In 1953, 6th British Film and Television Awards, The Sound Barrier Best Film. In 1955, WBBJ TV Channel 7 in Jackson, Tennessee, begins broadcasting. I think it's Jackson, Tennessee. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. In 1956, King Kong first televised. And also in 1956, Capitol Records releases Songs for Swingin' Lovers, the 10th album by American singer Frank Sinatra, upbeat collection of pop tunes with jazz arrangements by Nelson and Riddle, became the first album ever to top the UK album charts. A little bit of music within the film and television here. In 1958, KDUH TV Channel 4 in Scottsbluff, Hay Spring, Nebraska, I do believe, if I'm not mistaken, first broadcast on ABC. Again, correct me if I'm wrong on that. In 1959, 16th Golden Globes, The Defiant Ones, David Niven and Susan Hayward win. In 1962, Golden Globes, 19th annual, The Guns of Navarone, Maximilian Schell and Geraldine Page win Best Actress and Best Actor. The Golden Globes in 1963, the 20th annual, Lawrence of Arabia, Gregory Peck and Geraldine Page win Best Actor and Actress. In 1966, Bob Seagren pole vaults 5.19 meter indoor world record. That is impressive. In 1967, WEDN TV Channel 53 in Norwich, Connecticut, PBS begins broadcasting. I do believe it's... Again, correct me if I'm wrong on that. In 1970, Airports, based on the book by Arthur Haley, directed by George Seaton, and starring Burt Lancaster and Dean Martin, is released. The People's Choice Awards, 1977, third People's Choice Awards, John Wayne and Barbra Streisand win Motion Picture, and Telly Savalas and Mary Tyler Moore win. In 1985, 38th British Film and Television Awards, The Killing Fields Best Film, Wim Wenders Best Director. In 1995, 30 years ago today, 21st People's Choice Awards, Tom Hanks and Jodie Foster win Best Dramatic Motion Picture, and Tim Allen and Roseanne Barr win TV. In 2002, American reality TV program The Osbournes, featuring family of Ozzy Osbourne, premieres on MTV. In 2006, 78th Academy Awards, Crash. Philip Seymour Hoffman and Reese Witherspoon win Best Actor and Actress. In 2006, nature documentary Planet Earth, narrated by David Attenborough. In 2015, Harrison Ford crash lands his 1942 Ryan He crashes his airplane in California. Let's just put it that way. And let's see, in 2015, U.S. crime drama American Crime premieres, created by John Ridley, actress Regina King. In 2019, Kyle Jenner, in this world's youngest ever billionaire at 21, according to Forbes. Kylie Jenner. In 2024, which was just last year, a shirt worn by a very white Colin Firth in 1995 BBC TV adaptation of Jane Austen's Pride and Prejudice sells for $2,000. Well, that's $32,000 at a charity auction in London. Actor Colin Firth and novelist Jane Austen. And that's pretty much it for On This Day for film and television. Now let's get into On This Day on March 5th in wrestling history. Let's look at some of the things that went on. In 1994, the Tasmaniac and Kelvin Sullivan defeated the Bruise Brothers, Ron and Don Harris, to win the ECW World Tag Team Championships. In 2001, a week after Jerry the King Lawler left the company, Paul Heyman shockingly made his debut at the new Monday Night Raw color commentator. I do remember these days as well. Heyman jumped ship from ECW, the company he ran that was heading for bankruptcy. In 2012, on an episode of Raw from the TD Bankworth Garden in Boston, Massachusetts, Santino Marella defeated Jack Swagger to win the WWE United States Championship. In 2013, William Paul Bear Moody passed away as a result of a heart attack. God rest his soul. The Undertaker's long-term manager passed away in his hometown of Mobile, Alabama, at a very young age of only 58 years old. In 2017, WWE presented their Fastlane pay-per-view at the Bradley Center in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. The main event saw Bill Goldberg defeat Kevin Owens to win the Universal Championship in just 23 seconds. In 2019, on SmackDown, Samoa Joe became the new WWE United States Championship in a fatal four-way match over champion R-Truth, Andrade Cien Almas, and Rey Mysterio. And notable wrestling birthdays on March the 5th, Jordan Grace, and from Lucha Underground, Marty the Moth Martinez. Now let's look at what happened on this day in music. And I will share some of these as well. Let's see what's going on in music of the past years and decades. In 2017, Ed Sheeran topped the UK album chart with his third album, aka Divide, shooting to number one within 3 days of its release, became the fastest selling album by a male artist in UK pop history. 9 of its 16 songs entered the UK top 10, breaking a record previously held by Calvin Harris. Controversially, the other 7 tracks made the top 20, which led to an overhaul of how the charts were compiled. Beginning on July 7th, 2017, the number of tracks an artist could have in the chart at any one time was limited to only 3 songs. In 1956, Frank Sinatra did it his way, of course, but he also released his 10th studio LP, Songs for Swingin' Lovers, which was his first to top the UK album chart. In 2000, it was inducted into the Grammy Hall of Fame. In 1983, Michael Jackson's Billie Jean began a 7-week run at the top of the Billboard Hot 100. The second single plucked from his record-breaking 6th studio album, Thriller, Billie Jean, topped the charts in 10 countries around the world and to date has sold an estimated 14 million copies. In 1963, the Beatles recorded their third single, From Me to You, originally written by Lennon and McCartney as a B-side. It topped the UK charts but sold poorly when it was first released in America, selling less than 4,000 copies. Later, US interest in the band eventually helped to push the song to number 41 on Billboard's Hot 100. And in 2002, the Osbournes made its debut on MTV, which we kind of covered that before here. A fly on the wall look at the life of ex-Black Sabbath singer Ozzy Osbourne and his family. The show was an instant hit and became the channel's most viewed program. It ran for 4 seasons until 2005. We got some birthdays that happened on March 5th over the past decades. We got in 1970, John Ferrante from the Red Hot Chili Peppers. I might have pronounced that incorrectly. Let me know. In 1962, Craig and Charlie Reed from the Proclaimers celebrate their birthday. In 1958, Andy Gibb. In 1957, Marky Smith from The Fall. In 1956, Tina Marie, and in 1948, Eddie Grant. And that's all the On This Day coverage that I have from film and television, wrestling, and music. And now, let's get into what the main event will be for this very episode. And that is my top 100 favorite symphonic metal songs of all time. Now, when it comes to this list, you'll see a lot of familiar bands on here. A lot of them, so a lot of these symphonic metal bands that I have on this list are going to be a lot. So you're going to see the same bands over and over and over, just different songs. So, what do we have from number 100 to number 1? What is my favorite symphonic metal song of all time? What's on this list? What's in number 100? Let's kick things off. At number 100, Masters of Delane. Write that one down, Masters of Delane. At number 100 is Masters of Destiny by Delane. Number 99, Songs of Love and Death by Beyond the Black. At number 98, In the End by Stream of Passion. At number 97, When Angels Fall by Beyond the Black. At number 96 is Liar Liar by Camelot, featuring the singer of Arch Enemy, Alyssa White-Glutz. At number 95, it is The Path to Decay by Syriana. At number 94, Coetus by Epica. At number 93, Whoever Brings the Night by Nightwish. At number 92, King of Kings by Leaves' Eyes. At number 1, back-to-back songs by Leaves' Eyes, it is LG. At number 90 on this list, For the Heart I Once Had by Nightwish. Number 89, Martyr of the Free World by Epica. Number 88, Farewell Proud Men by Leaves' Eyes. Number 87, Secret by Leaves' Eyes. At number 86 on this list, Forsaken by Within Temptation. At number 85, Halvdan the Black by Leaves' Eyes. Number 84, Who We Are by Exandria. At number 83, All I Need by Within Temptation. At number 82 on this list, it is Memories by Within Temptation, 2 back-to-back songs there. At number 1, Master Passion Greed by Nightwish. At number 80, Emotional Man by Exandria. Number 79, it is Another Me in Lack. At number 78, Call of Destiny by Exandria. Number 77 is Frozen by Within Temptation. And number 76 on this list is Ragnarok by Leaves' Eyes, not to be confused with Thor Ragnarok. And number 75 is back-to-back songs by Leaves' Eyes is Emerald Island. And number 74 on this list, The Last Crusade by Epica. And number 73, When the Lights Are Down by Camelot. Number 72 on this list is Sisters of the Light by Exandria. And at number 71 is The Islander by Nightwish. So that's pretty much from 100 to 71. Now let's get into the top 70. We have at number 70, Fight Me by Exandria. Number 69, The Chevalier by Serenity. Number 68, Lost in Forever by Beyond the Black. At number 67 on this list is Take the Devil in Me by Leaves' Eyes. At number 66 is In Love with the Darkness by Exandria. And number 65 is In the Shadows by Beyond the Black. At number 64, Hand of Sorrow by Within Temptation. At number 63, it is Ever Sleeping by Exandria. At number 62, Beyond Belief by Epica. At number 61, Elizabeth by Camelot. At number 60, Hallelujah by Beyond the Black. At number 59, See Who I Am by Within Temptation. At number 58, Fire of Universe by Exandria. At number 57, Our Destiny by Epica. At number 56, Return to Life by Leaves' Eyes. At number 55, Mother Earth by Within Temptation. At number 54 on this list is Never Enough by Epica. At number 56 is Return to Life by Leaves' Eyes. At number 55, Mother Earth by Within Temptation. At number 54, Never Enough by Epica. At number 53, Somewhere by Within Temptation. At number 52, Newfoundland by Leaves' Eyes. And at number 51, Farewell by Camelot. Right now, I'm just going to backtrack just a little bit. I may have confused with a couple of songs on here because I think one of them I might have repeated twice. I'm not sure if I did. Because at number 57 is Our Destiny by Epica, and at number 54 is Never Enough by Epica. I might have said the same song twice. I'm not exactly sure. I'd have to play it back just to see. So that is the first part of this list. That is number 100 to 51. Now let's get into the second half of this list. That is my top 100 favorite symphonic metal songs of all time. At number 50 on this list. Now we're getting into the good ones here. Number 50, Angels by Within Temptation. At number 49, Blank Infinity by Epica. At number 48, Leaves Whisper by Leaves' Eyes. At number 47 on this list is Jillian, I Give My Heart by Within Temptation. At number 46, Our Solemn Hour by Within Temptation. At number 45 is a bit of an underrated song, and that is Winter Night, the only song on this list by Eyes of Eden. At number 44, it is Marching on Mephisto by Camelot. At number 43, Velatum by Serenity. At number 42, Like a Rose on the Grave of Love by Epica. At number 41, Empty Horizon by Leaves' Eyes. At number 40, so that was number 41. Number 40, The Lioness by Epica. Number 39, The Thorn by Leaves Eyes. At number 38, The Cross by Within Temptation. Number 37 on this list, Run for a Fall by Epica. At number 36, The Other Side by Suriana. And number 35 on this list, Irish Rain by Leaves Eyes. At number 34, The Haunting by Camelot featuring Simone Simmons. And number 33, A New Age by Exandria. And number 32, Enter by Within Temptation. And at number 31 on this list, Solitary Ground by Epica. And now we are about to get into the top 30 of this list. At number 30, Forever by Camelot. Number 29, Valentine by Exandria. And number 28, The Howling by Within Temptation. And number 27, Death of a Dream by Epica. And number 26, 7 Days to the Wolves by Nightwish. And number 25, Ravenheart by Exandria. And number 24, Unleashed by Epica. And number 23, Into Your Light by Leaves Eyes. And number 22, Stand My Ground by Within Temptation. And at number 21, What Have You Done by Within Temptation featuring Keith Caputo. And now we are about to get into the final 20, the top 20 of my top 100 favorite symphonic metal songs of all time. Coming in at number 20, it is The Phantom Agony by Epica. At number 19, Abandoned by Camelot. And that was number 19. So number 18, let's get into number 18. That is Restless by Within Temptation. Number 17, Facade of Reality by Leaves Eyes. And number 16, did I just say Leaves Eyes? I did too. Write that one down. Number 17 is actually Facade of Reality by Epica. At number 16, it is My Destiny by Leaves Eyes. And number 15, Firestorm by Exandria. And number 14 on this list, The Heart of Everything by Within Temptation. Number 13 is Njord by Leaves Eyes. At number 12, The Obsessive Devotion by Epica. And at number 11, Deceiver of Fools by Within Temptation. It was so close to reaching the pinnacle that is the top 10, and now there are only 10 songs remaining. What is my top 10 favorite symphonic metal songs of all time? To me, these ones are the ones that really stand out the most, the ones that really define what symphonic metal truly is. And let's kick things off. And number 10 of my favorite symphonic metal songs of all time is Meadows of Heaven by Nightwish. And number 9, Cry for the Moon by Epica. At number 8 on this list, A Prophecy of Worlds to Fall by Exandria. At number 7, Consigned to Oblivion by Epica. And at number 6, A Theater of Dimensions by Exandria. And now there are only 5 left. And when it comes to these final 5, there are 2 songs by 2 bands in here. And there are ones that I mentioned before. So let's do this. My number 5 favorite symphonic metal song of all time, it is The Truth Beneath the Rose by Within Temptation. Temptation. I had to say that twice because it sounded great. At number 4 on my favorite symphonic metal songs of all time, it is Chasing the Dragon by Epica. At number 3 on this list, Frioa's Theme by Leaves Eyes. Correct me if I didn't pronounce that correctly. At number 2, the runner-up position of number 2. What is my second favorite symphonic metal song of all time? Well, that is The Promise by Within Temptation, and my number 1 favorite symphonic metal song of all time. It is The Divine Conspiracy by Epica. To me, that song really truly defines uh, one of easily Epica's best song and one of the single greatest uh, songs you'll ever hear in your life. It's symphonic metal at its very best, at its very core. And that was my top 100 favorite symphonic metal songs of all time. And that concludes episode 10 of the Rock On Wild Show. Before I end this episode, I want to end on a quote. So I'm going to pull up a little bit of quote. And that is perspective of the day. That's what sometimes I usually close with. And let's get into what this quote really is. So, perspective of the day. You are deserving of a positive and uplifting circle of people who support and cherish you. Let go of negative influences and embrace the freedom that comes with releasing toxic relationships, and make space for those who bring joy and positivity into your life. Surround yourself with individuals who uplift your spirit and encourage your growth. Remember, you deserve to be surrounded by love, kindness, and understanding. Trust in your decision to prioritize your well being and happiness by choosing to distance yourself from negativity. Your journey towards a more fulfilling and peaceful life begins with honoring yourself. I am just Mike. I am your host for the Rock Out Wild Show. This was episode 10. This was my top 100 favorite symphonic metal songs of all time. I just ran down a few minutes ago. And I'm going to end with this. Get plenty of rest and always do your best.